Fighter. to have second wind and Stone's resilience.
Yeah. My dex bump for Tabaxi doesn't really help me out too much, but I love the Shroud. I'm just like drawn to the Shroud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I could be a variant human as well and just get an additional feat right off the bat as well.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm cool with whatever. My style is if it's in a book that's balanced for the edition you're playing, just let someone use it as long as it doesn't break.
Should
the game.
check out. There's some like good racial feats too in Xanthar's guide. I think. There's only one. There's only one for human. It's Prodigy, and so you get extra skill, extra tool proficiency, and extra something else. I can't remember. Language, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna micromanage you guys' character creation. I'm gonna trust all of you guys. Just use integrity when building this. I'm not gonna go through and comb through it. We are going to have a sit down eventually of this is what I'm at level 1. What do you got? Everybody talk about it. Just so we kind of have a clear plan of how we're going to go moving forward. Eventually, we'll actually go through and build the character sheets, but this character creation game that you guys are in is not the one we're going to be playing in, so everything's going to have to be copied over anyway. So if you guys want to use this game to build characters through this week, just to kind of have something digitally to throw it onto, I'm okay with that if it makes it easier for you. If you'd rather wait, that's fine. I am eventually, once all 20 levels are decided for all 4 people, I do need to get all the base stats for the thing I'm going to throw on the screen, so viewers can see what your guys' stats are, whatever level you guys are at. So I'm going to get all of that before we start so I can make those, but there's no rush. I mean, we got a month and 5 days at best, so I mean it might even be more, who knows.
Okay. Backgrounds. How do we still pick an additional background from the book that gives us skills and other shit like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rob you guys of that. Those were tie-ins for you to fit into my world. I'm not gonna rob you of a thing your character should have got.
Okay. Interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I was wondering, quick questioning on the elf. I mean, the year gap is from like 100 is when they consider themselves mature, and then 700. Huge amount of time. So I kind of figured that he could have been one thing, but my guess is maybe younger is what I'm going with historian, is that maybe he did something for a background earlier, and then he just decided, you know what, since I have such a long life already, and I like to incorporate living, maybe I should start doing a record, and he comes up with the almanac, basically, at age, 10, whatever, but or maybe closing in on 200. I'm not sure.
Okay.
What you think?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Historian is actually what I had in mind for you. I didn't want to just assign them to you guys, but if I would have given you historian anyway.
Yeah.
So wait, Kyle's treasure hunter, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ryan's being tribal. Dylan is duty to the divine. How does that fit in with the character concept? Or how are you going to tie it in?
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be like a love-hate relationship. Like, he believes that the 3 leaving is the reason that the Horsemen came. So he's kind of dedicating himself to figuring out what happened and if he can bring them back. But at the same time, like, all, like, the terrible shit that's happened to him is, like, because they left. So it's kind of this strange dynamic. Like, he believes that they need to come back and he's willing to do anything to get them back, but at the same time he's kind of spiteful towards the sisters for leaving.
That's fair. So that is the list of everything I wanted us to get through. Now if you guys want to stay and talk, get to know each other, build character, because we got to eventually do all 20 levels. That's going to take a lot of work. You guys prefer to do it here with everybody and get input, or would you rather do it solo?
Well, I can linger for a little bit longer too before I feel like I should get something sorted. But one thing before I go is I would definitely say, anyone have any descriptions, either written or verbal, right now for what you picture for your character? You can use existing references, of course. Like you say, I look like Sean Bean when he was Boromir. Like, easy.
Well, I mean, I definitely think that like my character is going to be like the size of a dwarf, but then otherwise have mostly like tabaxi features. So like, you know, his mane would be very shaggy, where like a dwarf might have a lion.
You being a lion?
Yeah. So, you know, his mane would be
awesome. With the right disguise, you could totally pass off as a dwarf.
Yeah, so like his mane would be very shaggy, you know, like where a dwarf would have a beard. You know, he'd probably wear it either like braided with rings or like several braids with rings or one big braid. I think that he'd be like mostly, you know, very lightly colored, like almost like that, you know, you said you were born a platinum blonde, kind of like that. With maybe like one dark patch over one of his eyes, to like just be like that, kind of represent that dark mark between the tabaxi and the dwarves. So it would like have manifested like in his fur almost. And how do you feel about that, Sean? Like my character wanting to mend that relationship, because they kind of like don't like each other very much, right? Or I listened to the lore,
yeah,
you know, between both of them. So like, you know, the Shroud definitely sound like they have some sort of vendetta against the dwarves in one way or another. And I know there are the two brother dwarves who are like, one is bad and one is good. And I feel like my character would like, you know, want to like mend that relationship between the two people. And he would feel like the only way to like stop the Horsemen is if like all the people come together,
right,
to like battle against the darkness or whatever.
I would say whatever you're wanting to do will most likely fit. There's going to be so much of the campaign is going to be exploring these tribes and discovering the tension and, you know, what they're doing. So I don't want to take away from that by
telling me too much.
Exactly. So you pretty much just figure out, even if you land on, this is how my character feels about the dynamics of these tribes, and you don't know how it is in the world, your character is entitled to his own opinion on it, even if it's not common.
Yeah, sure.
Opinion, you know what I mean? So I don't see how it wouldn't fit as long as you stay within, you know, your only connection to one tribe and not two.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So hereditarily, you would be a half from the Shroud, not the Bane.
Right.
But as a dwarf, you could have interest in the Bane. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have definitely grown up like within the Shroud.
I would think so, unless you want to write it where you're not.
Yeah. No, I definitely would have grown up like within the Shroud.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. And that's why like I would think that a lot of the Shroud have these like bad feelings towards the Bane.
How do you feel about having like some, besides just your height, some dwarvish features be portrayed in your lionness? Like dwarves commonly have like massive noses. What about
I feel like the
snout?
Yeah, like the bridge of my nose would probably be very big for sure.
Right.
I might even have like a big kind of like a big widow's peak almost, where like the top of my forehead is kind of like really short haired, and then my mane starts like very pronounced in the center and like goes back and then like explodes in the back or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
And then maybe just like really oversized like paws, like oversized hands and feet, you know?
The appendages are short, but the actual paw is huge.
Yeah.
Typical line, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, at first it'll be a bust, but later on.
Yeah.
You'd be one ugly cub.
Yeah, for sure. I was not a cute shadow.
Or he grew into it disproportionately.
Yeah.
All right.
Like maybe I even have like a hobble or something, you know, like one of my legs just didn't form correctly. Like it tried to grow. One of them tried to grow too long, like a tabaxi leg. So one leg's like longer or shorter than the other or something. I don't know.
You're gonna be the ugliest motherfucker, like Quasimodo over there.
Well, you know, like tabaxi are like, yeah, almost like a hunchback or something. Like, you know, the tabaxi are like very feline and graceful, and the dwarfs are just like these brick stubby, like something, you know. I don't mind having a physical. I was gonna make my dex really low, even though I get a bonus to dex. I was gonna put my 9 in dex and have my dex be my lowest stat. So like, it makes sense to be kind of like hobbled or hunchback, or just have some weird dwarven. My tabaxi and dwarven just didn't mesh well together, you know.
Kyle, you were saying something?
Yeah.
No, all I was gonna say was, as he's going on, all I could think of was like the badass version of, is it Lionheart from the Care Bears, the lion one, but like grown up version.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely, yeah.
So not to take away you being a Care Bear here, I want to like still keep the
No,
D&D
that's like
going,
it's very accurate. Yeah, it's very accurate.
You got demoted from Ninja Turtle to Care Bear.
Yeah.
In one session.
Nothing wrong with Care Bears. Nothing wrong with them. The D&D version of them.
Yeah, not the wild ones.
Yeah.
What do you got for visual stuff for Kyle? Or Kyle, what do you have for visual stuff for Andrew? For concepts.
Right. I mean, in my mind, whether I was going to be a bard or the monk version, I saw my halfling as just like the always happy version, like the smile placid on his face all the time. In fact, even the one thing, like the mask that you wear, like when I put something about like even when shit goes bad, like with your insecurities, like it's still gonna be good, it's gonna be fine.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
You know, now that I switched him over to the bard from monk and going back and forth about it, I almost feel like to get the most entertainment value out of it, like almost magician looking, man. I'm seeing like a hat, like a top hat, maybe some sort of facial hair going. I don't know. It's like I haven't really gotten all the aspects of it. Maybe I could text you some more when I think of some more. But I just at first visual, now that more things, the fuzz is. I had a fuzzy vision, and now it's coming a little bit more into focus. Like I just kind of see more of like
It sounds a little bit like with the noble background fits well with that. Like.
Oh damn it! That link is just terrible. But yeah, that's a terribly long link.
Holy crap!
Yeah, sorry. It should have copied image. It did copy image address. It's like, yeah, damn it, wrong one.
But the damage had been
done. It should have been this. It's when you said pointy hat and what I just pictured Smendrick.
Oh, what are we looking at?
He's
so long.
He's from the Last Unicorn. He's from the Last Unicorn. He's Schmendrick the Magician. And he's shit.
All right. Okay.
But, yeah.
All right. And again, I came into this again being zero in my mind here. So I'll come up with a little bit more now that he has a little bit more of a direction to him. But
yeah, you can message me. That's fine. Pictures and words are okay.
Cool. There's absolutely no rush on this stuff. I want to take the time, do it thorough, do it right. Still got lots of stuff to build in the game still. So
yeah, you can just send me these things too. It's fine. If something sparks, or if you see an image that you like and you want me to incorporate, do that. I'm
trying to incorporate in the back of my mind any sort of wrestlingness to this at some point, and I just kind of see him being one, and then it's off to the other one too. So like I don't know. I have to just do a little bit more clay molding is all. But yeah, I'll throw something at you then.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about tats for your character, but that might be a good way to maybe express some of those the different personas, like maybe the wrestling thing, you take the shirt off and you got the instant perma shirt of the wrestling attire.
You've got a frost giant tattooed on your chest,
Yeah.
or a fire giant or whatever.
Bullshit. I'll do a little bit more machine washing and press.
And I want exaggerated flaws too. So what do you guys have for ideas for that? Like for instance, an idea just popped in my head. I don't even know if you want to use it, but like slightly bipolar. It would be great for Kyle. You know what I mean? Like when those trigger moments happen, he goes to Nacho Libre. You know what I mean? And then otherwise, you know what I mean? Like that would be, I think, really, really funny. But what are some flaws you guys? Obviously, you got time to flesh this out. But what do you guys feel for exaggerated flaws? Just for relatability and some of the past conversations we've all had about, just connecting with viewers and production side.
I have to think on that one because I know there's a default for L's, and like you don't want to fall into the default just yet. Rather think about that one because usually it's just arrogance and over certainties. That's typically them.
Well, what's a physical characteristic of an elf that stands them out from a human?
Narcissism.
No, physical characteristic.
Oh.
Physical narcissism.
I mean, they just look like very pretty people.
Yeah, but what's the other thing?
Elves' ears?
There you go. So maybe think about something with ears, maybe?
I cut off your ears and wear them as a necklace.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not trying to tell you how to. I'm just throwing ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a thought, yeah. Because if there's anything in your world, especially that I would not like to know, would be is there's any kind of social acceptances, parts of people's cultures and whatnot, and the person is odd to that degree, that'd be fine and good to know.
Right.
And I will definitely incorporate that in a flaw, like how he fits outside the box in the social standing of that.
The capital you guys are going to be in primarily is called Candoria, and the Revenant have a massive presence there within the capital, and that's where the magic colleges reside, is in that city. And there are magic users that are not Revenant, but the majority in the world is going to be the Revenant, which are human wizards. And they are very entitled, and they are very, I wouldn't say supremacists, but a notch or two down from that. They think very highly of themselves.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I mean, for me, when I had number 5, it said what do you hate? It was pure belittlement, laughed at for ideas, or
Right. So your character needing to get taught how to use magic, I would assume would have attended these colleges, but you can only get so high into the process. You're only allotted a certain rank if you're not actually a Revenant. So your character obviously is going to bypass that. So maybe having in your background somebody who taught you not in the structure of the college, maybe, or maybe your character cut their ears off to pass as a human, or disguised them with a spell or something. And if you were able to pass as a human, nobody would question it, theoretically. So you could use a spell to do it if you didn't want to, just throwing out some ideas of how to fit your character into the established lore already. Because it would, you wouldn't be able to get that high if you weren't human or couldn't pass off as one, or if somebody broke the rules to teach you.
Right. And is it just human Revenants with blue eyes, correct?
Yes. So, I gotta be careful about how much I say. I just want to load you guys with all the information as possible, but I don't want to deter from the discovery. The eyes stuff. I got you. You won't have the eyes.
Yeah.
I think a good flaw for my character might be,
okay.
Because the Shroud are kind of all about the clan or the tribe. But since my character's a lion, he still probably got teased a lot when he was growing up for his size. he might have kind of a small man syndrome and approach it in like a Tyrion Lannister kind of way.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
And he'd definitely be using like a greatsword.
Sorry, just a quickly question. So the college is what? You can still be human without being a revenant to go into the wizards, or do you have to be a revenant?
So the revenant thing is hereditary. Just like the being a bane is hereditary, and if you... So, for instance, a full-blood revenant human who's a wizard has a kid with a full-blood human. They're still going to have a human child, but he's going to lose potency of the revenant's hereditariness. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't ever gain it back to the full... Once there's been dilution, even if there was generation after generation of coming back to only with... If there's ever a dilution, you lose that initial full... Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, because I was curious, because the way the Revenant had done it seemed like they had to earn their eye color.
Right, but then once the property was instated, it was then hereditary, just like the other
Right.
two. Right.
Okay. So, but then, like, if the eyes were diluted, would they just be like a softer blue then?
I'm gonna have to discuss some stuff with my devs about this before I give an answer on eye colors.
Because if he's restricted and he has to find a way to get in, I could easily see then his background might have to be charlatan to a degree, and he has to use disguise kits or something like that to get by, and he might use tinted glasses to cover his eyes if he needed to make them look appropriate.
Okay. I mean,
but yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
We'll figure out ways to bend it, but also to, like, I don't want you to not be able to play a character the way you want to play it because of how the world... Like, we'll find a way to just... You got through, you know, like, we'll come up with the best why, but if there's, you know, some minor plot holes in the story, you got through, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Where were we? Flaws.
Since I actually did talk on that a little earlier, I'm going to have to change this up. I'll have to eat at like 5 instead of later on just to be ready for this, but I haven't had any dinner yet, and I got to go grab stuff.
Okay. Yeah, if you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah. But note me anything, send me anything for all details and whatnot, and ask questions. Happy to answer. I'll have my phone on me, so I'll be able to peek.
Real quick before you dip off, getting the information about your backstory tie-in, on the one-on-one, do you guys want to do that tonight, or do you want to try to figure out during the week?
I can do it tonight.
Okay.
I mean, like, you remember when you called us last time?
Yeah.
Like, it was in the middle of the day, I think, for us. Can't remember if it was like 12 or something like that.
I'm off tomorrow, so I can...
okay, then yeah, so I can
be available whenever it works for you. Mine is picking kids up and dropping them off to school and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can give you, if you wanted to do one-on-one tomorrow, I can do that.
Yeah, if that works. If tonight doesn't work, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, then, unless everyone else wants to do their one-on-one, you know, tonight they can.
Yeah.
I'm literally not doing anything.
Cool.
This is D&D, man. I'll do this whatever time.
Yeah, me too. Cool.
But I'll definitely give some thoughts to the flaws. Think about that.
Well, I'm going to end the recording, since you're going to be dropping it anyway. It's going to fuck up everyone's faces in the thing, and then I'll jump my face back into Skype.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. We're at a good spot. Yeah.